If you pay for your TV license, then don't pay it again. 'Cause the money goes back to England and they spend it all on them. I am one of the 45% who voted yes. Yes, I'm a proud Scottish man from the Edinburgh West, from the Edinburgh West. I am one of the 45% who voted yes, who voted yes. Thank you.
Sorry about this, it's a bit difficult speaking to everybody, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. But if I can just remember a few people. We've got Mark Wood, a guy with severe and enduring mental health difficulties, schizophrenia, who's starved to death in Oxford after being found fit for work. We've got Stephanie Bottrell, who ran out in front of a truck because she couldn't pay her bedroom tax. Ladies and gentlemen, Westminster is killing people and we must drive them out of Scotland and their parties out of Scotland. We didn't lose last week. We didn't lose last week. We were 6% away from having our freedom and independence and standing up again as a proud country where we can walk down the street and say, "Can what? I live in a country that cares for its sick and poor people. I live in a country that looks after the most vulnerable. I live in a country where I'm proud to bring my children up. I live in a civilized country, not a barbaric country that would rather spend money on bombing civilians in far-off places than save people." One thing I've got to tell you before I leave is that last Christmas I cried my eyes out when I was having my Christmas dinner because I saw a tweet of kids that were spending in the East End of Glasgow having their Christmas dinner in a food bank. This is what the Yes campaign has been all about. Put a stop to this barbarism. Let's get rid of them now. Red Tories out! Solidarity! Sure, over!
The next statement is from Brian Cox, actor. There was such... Let's hear it for Brian Cox. There was such a huge percentage of our young people voting for yes. We owe it to them to keep the elephant firmly in the room. The issue is not going to go away, nor should it go away, nor should we go away. We owe it to these young people to keep up our efforts.
Now, I know many of you are probably disheartened after the events of last week, with us only missing out on the vote by 6% of the vote. But what I want to say to Westminster, and this is proof that we are all here today, that the Yes movement is not dead and we are still here. Now, with each coming day, we are seeing the promises that Yes Westminster have promised us. We are seeing them fade away. They have said that we are better together, but how can we be better together when 100,000 Scottish children will be living in poverty by the end of the decade? How are we better together when the entire nuclear arsenal of the British Empire is sitting in the Clyde? And how are we better together if the Westminster government are starting a new war in Iraq that we haven't agreed to? Now, before this movement, I know many young people in Scotland were disengaged with politics, but it has only been when I started to get involved in the Yes movement that I have seen thousands of young people around Scotland becoming passionate again about politics, joining political parties, and I know we may have been defeated last week, but we will carry this movement on. Now, the Yes movement has changed the attitude of the Scottish people. We have had our taste of freedom, but we do not want just a taste of freedom. We want the whole cake. So, keep wearing your Yes badges, keep having your posters on the wall, and keep holding these rallies, because we are here to stay. And by voting for the SNP, no matter what party you support, by voting for the SNP in the upcoming elections, I believe with conviction that we will see an independent Scotland within the next 5 years. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Really on the go, from here until plenty hair and plenty meal, plenty beautiful and real, plenty once was a troop, Irish to do, came marching in the fight, and the captain fell in love. The year was 1320.